That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutting. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on?
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
And welcome to another class here at ISBHPK. We are located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. That's Houston, Texas, 77071. We have class times Monday, Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. As you can see, we are back in the school. We are going to continue to stay here at the school having classes Monday, Wednesday. Are we still doing Friday?
Friday.
And Fridays.
And Saturdays.
Friday and Saturday. So Friday's class will not be aired as we don't air here in Houston on Fridays, but VA will be airing their class. So just because, for those of you that are out here in Houston, just because it's Friday doesn't mean that you shouldn't show up to class. So still show up to class. Come with your questions, because Fridays is when we typically answer questions. So, and then if there is no questions, then we'll just go into a topic and go from there. We also have classes out in Virginia. They're at 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23517. Their classes is Tuesday and Thursday, 7 to 9. Friday, 7 to 9. We also have schools out in San Antonio. They're at 444 Walsham Road, Suite 201. And there's also a building out in Albuquerque that it should be there on the screen. Upcoming feast days. We have the Feast of Pentecost. That's Tuesday, May 26th. So get ready for that.
That's my mom's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is? Nice. All right. We also have the Blog Talk Radio with the brother Mashaba. You can find that at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. here, right?
10 a.m. here.
Oh, 10 a.m. here. Okay, so it's right on. Also, don't forget to check out our YouTube channels. We have this one. We have the one in Virginia. We also have 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden Truth Bible Show, and Israelite Media Corp. So if you can please subscribe to all those channels and share with your friends, families, co-workers, associates. If someone comes with a question, or you had like maybe a casual word with someone with the scriptures, look, you may not have all the ammo, but you can definitely shoot them a link to a class that will fully answer their question. Or if you're in Houston, get them to class. Get yourself, bring them to class. Also, right now, Israel is not accepting orders because they're finishing up the Passover garments. Those brothers that have paid for their Passover garments, it's coming, it's on its way. Sisters are diligently working on it. Also, if you need to reach a priest, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737, or you can reach Priest Quatazab at 303-557-47 8979. We also have the business. Parts of Houston is still on quarantine, so we're not the mall still isn't open, but you can reach us online at sweetambiance.com. Best oils hands down. I mean, we're not using no second, third hand rate oil. We get our oil directly from Cairo, Egypt, and plus it helps support the school. So we have your aromatherapeutic oil, we have your body fragrances, your cologne fragrances, your female fragrances. So check us out, support it. We've got candles too, soaps, bath bombs. Check it out. If you want to make a donation, you can drop it into the Wells Fargo account. Should be there on the screen. Or you can send it via Google Wallet. And if there's anything that you want to mail in, as far as like pens, books, papers, apocryphers, Bibles, dictionaries, if you got a computer, if there's a vehicle, tables, chairs, desks, anything that you feel like we can use for the further edification and educational process of our people, we'll take it in. Just reach Priest Quatazop and he'll give you a good address to send that to. Okay, and as far as the announcements?
Yeah, that's only if you want to mail like boxes. If you want to do like regular mail, they slide it under the door of the school. But like boxes that we have to get like UPS and things like that, I'll give you my address.
Okay. That's it for the announcements. So, the class topic today is we're having this series of the fruits of the Spirit. Now, with the fruits of the Spirit, brothers have been doing their fruits of the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit for tonight is faith. And we're going to go into the different aspects of how to learn to have faith, different ways of learning, and just what faith is in general. Like, what does it mean to have faith, and how do you obtain that? How do you learn to have faith if you don't have it? So, first scripture we're going to start off with is Hebrews chapter 11 and 1. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1.
Let's do it.
Right, and we got to remember that as we've been going over these different topics, and I've said it, I'll say it again, these are fruits of the Spirit, of byproducts of how a man and woman takes the care of, attaining, retaining, and applying knowledge. That's all it is. How well am I rooted? How well do I allow myself to be watered? Like, these are all up to each individual. Am I allowing myself to be watered? That water, that wisdom, that constant, miss not the discourse of the wise? Am I allowing myself to hear the discourse? Or do I run from the discourse? Do I run from the correction, the counsel, the exhortation? All these different things that when you do apply wisdom, you will get the fruits. You will let those fruits grow in you. So faith, faith is important. It's one of those things that, I always say this also, a lot of us walked in on faith, not knowing. Mm-hmm. A lot of brothers and sisters, you didn't know what the truth had to offer. You didn't know about the truth. You didn't know what it was. I know I walked in on faith way back when. The brothers in here walked in on faith. There wasn't, back in our day, there wasn't the luxury of hopping on YouTube. Maybe even your day. Was there YouTube when you got to the truth? Kinda. Like the online presence wasn't what it was. I know there was no YouTube. You had to show up to a class. You had to show up to a brother's house and sit there and ask your questions and learn. And have the faith in the things that you were learning, that they were going to come to pass, that they were true, that they were real. And, not knowing, but still rolling with it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Okay, so now this is the biblical definition of faith. So Read it again.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
So it's the substance. Now we're just gonna break down this one verse, just piece by piece, so we can get a well-rounded understanding of what the scriptures is saying. So, someone look up the definition of substance. Someone grab a definition for substance.
And what it's saying is that faith is something.
It is.
It's not just this mystical, oh, just have faith. There's something behind faith.
Yep.
It's a substance of things. It's comprised of a few different things. Faith ain't just, you know how they tell you in church, man, I'm dying of cancer. Oh, just have faith.
Oh man, I got a story for that.
Faith will heal you. Like the scriptures is telling us that faith is comprised. When it says the substance, is comprised of things
Got it.
to make it faith, right? So who got that word for substance?
I got a substance. It says something existing by itself,
Right?
that which really is or exists.
So faith is something that really exists. It's really a real thing. It's not the mystical, spooky. Once again, I'm dying of cancer. I'm dying of AIDS. Oh, just have faith and you'll be healed. There's things that you got to do for faith to work. That's what it's telling you.
It also says the essential part.
The what?
The essential part.
See, and it's an essential. It's one of these essentials that, again, it's one of the fruits of the spirit. So it's a byproduct of. It's a byproduct. All the fruits of the spirits are byproducts of each other. And they're all byproducts of application, right? Getting wisdom, hearing wisdom, then using it. But again, a lot of us come in off of faith. It'd be that mustard seed size faith. It'd be that little bit of faith that tells you, man, just walk in. And you're like, man, I'm gonna go see what's up. I know I've been driving by the building for the last 8 years. I know I've seen it light up. I know that they're in there. Man, let me just move on faith and see what they got going on. And you walk in and then you don't walk out. Right? That faith is what brought us a lot of us into the truth. And you have to have faith. It just was small. It was just small. And then as you kept moving and going and growing, then it grew, obviously.
Right.
But faith is a real thing. It's not something mystical and ghostly, right? It ain't something comic book. It ain't some one, a superpower that some have and some don't. It's an essential part. I mean, faith is an essential part as we go through the class. It's going to be an essential part of your walk. What else?
I got another definition, and it just goes right along with how faith is actually something. Now, this definition that I found, it says, substance, the thing put under, substructure, foundation. So faith is the foundation. Like us coming, like how I was using an example of people coming into the school, coming to class. Well, that faith was the foundation that everything else that you learned in the truth was built on. Does that make sense?
Right.
So once you took that step of faith to come in and start to learn, that was the foundation that everything was grown on. So you do have faith. But what we're going to start getting in, what we're going to get to in more in the class is how do you learn to grow your faith?
And we are going to talk about it being the foundation. We are going to be talking about it being it is the essential. It's literally the essential fruit. If you don't have it, you better get it.
But you know what's crazy just about faith? You use it so much, and you use it so much in life, but you don't even think about it. It's like food, right? You're hungry. We understand how food breaks down into your body and gives you energy and all that, but just think about it. Coming up as a child, you'll eat. You don't know how this apple keeps you alive. The sandwich. You don't know how that. You don't know 100% how it works that it keeps you alive. You know what I'm saying? How you coming up drinking milk from your mom's breast milk from a child coming up and eating these different things from a child coming up and growing up. You don't know how that stuff makes you grow. You know what I'm saying? Even the air you breathe. You know that breathing air is gonna keep you alive, but you don't know how it goes into your lungs and how everything gets distributed.
Or better yet, every time you breathe, you have the faith that you're going to keep walking.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have the faith that you're breathing air. Can we see air? Can you smell air? I mean, you can smell filthy air, right? Like when the air is dirty, you're like, oh, that's funky. But pure air, can you smell it? No. Can you see it? No. You only know, oh, the wind is blowing, or you feel it on your skin. But let's say there's no wind blowing and there's no smell. You inhale. Oh, I'm still alive. And you breathe every time thinking. You never think like, wait a minute, if I breathe in and it's carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide is smellless, odorless, tasteless, right? Just like air. But you breathe, you move on faith. You don't think every time you're about to breathe, like, wait a minute, is it carbon monoxide? And then you stop breathing. No, you breathe. Having the faith that the Most High is not going to let you walk into a carbon monoxide zone or walk into something that's filled with carbon monoxide, or else you just walk around with what? A face mask, right? When you go to sleep at night. When you hop in the car and strap up the seatbelt and drive 1,000 miles an hour like a dummy, feeling like the seatbelt got me. The seatbelt's going to save me, right? Or even when you just put your trust in these vehicles. Vehicles fail. Listen, remember when the Toyota Prius came out? It had a gas pedal malfunction that if it pressed down too much, it got stuck.
Oh, dang, I didn't know that.
And what it was happening, all it was simple. The gas pedal was getting stuck in the carpet. Human error. It was getting stuck in the carpet. People were cracking. You hit the brake and the car's still going. So we put our trust, we put our faith in machines. We hope that when we hop in the car, strap on the seatbelt, drive crazy, that if we do get into an accident, that seatbelt's going to work. That airbag is going to deploy. We hope those things, right?
Yeah.
But you first got to get into the car.
You got to have enough faith to get in.
You got to have enough faith to get into the car for it to work. Right? I don't want to jump. But there are things that you have to hope for with this faith. You do, like he was saying, we use faith every day. Think about in your negative. We were talking to Ricardo about this a couple of days ago when you didn't sit back and think about how you were going to get your dime bag or your weed the next day. You just knew that it was going to be there, right? Or what girl you was going to be with, or what clothes you was going to put on. You just said, I got to do my life. And all the things that we sit back now and, damn, how am I going to pay this bill? Damn, what am I going to wear? Damn, I don't have this. Damn, I don't have that. What am I going to eat? All the things we worry about now that we shouldn't worry about, we didn't worry about in the old life. We were so occupied in whatever it was. Whatever it was that you were occupied in, it took you out of having to even think about your next meal, what you was going to wear, where you was going to sleep, what you was going to drink, who you was going to screw, right? You didn't think about those things. You just knew that they were going to happen for you.
Okay.
But now, coming into this and using the Spirit, we shouldn't be in that. We should be in that same mind, but on a righteous side. Not sitting there, man, what am I going to do? Man, is the Most High going to provide for me? Well, is he? He will. He provided for you in your negative. Right? He put you against the lilies of the field and the birds of the air and said, aren't you not greater than them?
That's right.
Wasn't Solomon in his glory? It says Solomon in his glory wasn't like the lilies of the field, but he took care of Solomon. But he took care of the lilies.
You know what's even crazier? If you really look at it, right? The scripture talks about how the Most High gives rain onto the just and onto the unjust. So if the Most High is taking care of these wicked ass people, if they're still alive, if they can make it and they're wicked, then how much more
the righteous?
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead.
All right.
Look, I'm done talking.
No, it's all right. Everything's on
I
point.
want you to do your class.
I love it. I love add-ons.
Teach your class.
So,
what's up, Chicago?
Just on the scripture that we're on, it says the evidence, which is
we're getting
We're
there.
gonna go right into that. Yep.
getting
No,
there.
he's right on point.
Yep.
That's the next point that we're gonna bring out. We're just going step by step because people look at faith as this thing that is just like it's even hard to explain how people look at faith. Like it's something that's there, but it's not.
Con.
But it's there. it's there. By definition, by the Bible, it tells us that it's the substance. So that's why we're going step for. We got people online, even brothers in here, young sisters in here. So you're right on point, though.
Definitely right on point. That's
Yep.
that's where we're going to next.
Go ahead, read on.
So we got the substance part down. We understand that this is something that it actually is something. It's not just something that's just spooky or mystical. It is actually something. But when you read on, it says the evidence of things not seen. Before we get to that evidence, someone give me Romans chapter 8 and verse 24.
Romans chapter 8, verse 24.
Read.
For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for it?
So, how do you have faith for something that you already got? Like, man, I have faith that I'm gonna get me a Bible, but I already got it. How is that having faith?
Do you even need faith?
You don't need faith.
Because that's what it's saying. Do you need faith for things that are seen?
Con.
Do you need faith? Is faith or is having faith in the things that are seen faith?
Con.
Right?
Got it.
Go ahead.
Seeing what's right in front of you, does that give you faith in the thing that's in front of you? But it's there. It's already evident. Which when you go back to that Hebrews, read that Hebrews 11:1 again.
Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So the evidence of your faith is the things not seen. Now digesting that, it's like, well, I thought it was actually something. I thought, you just said faith is something. It is, but where it comes from, you don't see it yet. It starts off in your spirit. It starts off in your mind. Now the evidence of things, like we're going to get a definition of evidence. Like if someone can look up a definition for evidence for me. Evidence. And we'll see.
It says evidence. To elucidate, to prove, to make clear to the mind, to show in such a manner that the mind can apprehend the truth, or in manner to convince it. Also says.
Look, I'll read the definition that I found. It says signs or indications of something. So it's the evidence of something. It's the signs or indications of something. So it is real.
So, no, go ahead.
Or the outward sign, or something to be seen. That which tends to prove or disprove something, grounds for belief / proof. So, whether you want to say it or not, faith is definitely tangible. It sounds like an intangible, but it's something that you can hold on to. Now, when you go into holding on to this faith, or even exercising or increasing your faith, how do we learn to have faith in something? Well, what's the process of our learning? So the next few blocks of scriptures, we're going to go through the whole process of learning.
Before you go there, I just want to throw this out there. Before you go to the next point, when you look at faith is, it first starts when it says the things hoped for, right? Mm-hmm. When you were young, you may have hoped to, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I hope to be a doctor, a firefighter. Mm-hmm. You hope to be something. What is that hope? What when you take that and put it into a biblical, what is that hope? What's that?
It's a goal.
It's a goal. So translate that now It's a goal. What is it? It says it says where there's no what, the people what? Where there's no what, the people what? Right. Where there's no vision, the people perish. So faith is having visions and goals and aspirations. You might not be there yet. The 5-year-old that wants to be a cop, he can't be a cop yet. He's 5.
Yeah.
But he has the aspiration. So what does that mean now with him going with that? The evidence of things not seen, right? The evidence of things not seen. Well, the evidence of things not seen is really knowing that you have to work towards that goal. Right? He said if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move ye hence and go over here.
Done.
But is the mountain really going to pick up and walk over there? Now you can envision the mountain going from here to here, like, oh, okay, how am I gonna? And I'll break it down like this. One of the punishments when you look at Michael Jackson, you watch like the Michael Jackson story. One of the punishments that his dad used to do to him, they had a thing of bricks, right? And when they messed up, he would say, "Move this thing of bricks from here to here." Right? Now, did they just get a whole shovel and lift up a bunch of cinder blocks? They had to do it one by one. It's the same thing with your faith. It's showing you that little by little, you got to chip away at your goals, your visions, your aspirations. They will happen. It's an evidence of things that are not seen. It's really, I haven't seen the mountain move from here to here, but the thought process is that if I grain by grain or scoop by scoop, wheelbarrow, move it over and dump it.
Bro,
Yep.
you know what's the perfect analogy to that? Is,
I just gave it.
Ants.
well, so you can see it a little bit. Is,
I'm joking.
have y'all seen that YouTube video of this man? He just has that little shovel-looking thing. It's called a primitive. He calls it a primitive tool, right? And he'll go and he'll find this patch of dirt.
Oh,
and he's
I know.
gonna build the underground pool. And
Yeah,
he draws
like
a
a stick
circle.
of bamboo or something.
Yeah, and he's using that, and it takes him like 2-3 months of doing it. But by the time he's done, it's this beautiful, majestic underground pool or underground house, and he lays it out. And
I've seen cats do that in one day. There's me and him was watching it. These two dudes like in Hawaii or something, they dug out a pool in one day out the ground. And all he did was just, they used like a stick.
yeah,
But that's the point.
yeah.
Like they had to have
that's faith. They saw it.
They saw it, but then they had to go and work on it and move on it.
Scoop by scoop, yeah.
Scoop by scoop. So we're saying the same thing. We both got perfect analogies.
Y'all are both perfect brothers.
But y'all see the evidence of things hoped for.
All right.
Or the things hoped for, the evidence of things that have not been seen.
Yeah.
You vision the mountain moving, but you haven't technically seen it being moved because you haven't done it yet. But the evidence is this. The evidence is this, that when I walk over to that mountain, oh, I can pick up a stone and toss it over there. Oh, snap, I can pick up another. Oh, wait, so I can actually move this mountain. And I'm picking up stone by stone, and as this gets smaller,
This is getting big.
this is getting bigger. I'm moving a mountain.
Con.
I'm literally moving a mountain. That's the evidence that I can pick it up piece by piece, right? It's like it's if a brother wants to, hey, I want to stop smoking, or I want to stop whatever negative, and as you let that old man get torn down, and that new man starts to rise, all it does is it takes a step back for you to say and look and see, oh wait, I am changing. I am getting better. I can conquer. You got like, oh, I can never stop smoking, right? That's why I can never stop. I can't just do that. Yeah, you can. First, you got to have the vision. You got to envision yourself not doing it, and then you have to put in the little bit of things to stop doing it, whatever parameters it is, and then you got to stick to it. That's the one thing. You got to stick to those parameters to be able to, down the line, be that person that isn't smoking. Right? So you see how faith, again, it's not some fake, far-fetched, mystical, spooky, ghostly,
Con.
comic book type of thing. It's a real thing that requires real thought and real work. Right? So let's go to the next point.
So the next point is we're going to get into the auditory and reading, the hearing and reading.
Because what you're trying to show is how do we now build faith, right?
Exactly. How are we building faith? Like, because even the analogy with the mountain, well, it's either he got the idea by himself or someone said, yes, you can move that mountain. And he's like, I can? Well, I heard it. Well, let me go do it. There was a whole process. He heard it. He put a little, maybe he even seen someone else do it. So he seen it, and then he did it himself. Start moving those stones himself. So we're gonna get into the hearing of it. So give me St. John chapter 14 and verse 29. And as we're reading these scriptures, and as we're going through these different processes of learning, the goal is that brothers and sisters here in class, brothers and sisters online, that it's something that applicable, something that you can apply in your day-to-day life and use it instantly. Not something that you gotta I gotta go meditate in the closet for months. I gotta go up to the Himalayas and meditate with Buddhist priests in order to gain this spiritual power of faith. No, it's something that you can just take and apply right now.
Right.
So, who got it?
St. John
There you
14 and 29.
Read.
And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe.
So this is Yahweh Shai speaking, and he's telling the disciples, the apostles, about what was going to happen with them. And now he's like, look, I've been telling you these things aforetime, so that when it happens, your faith is increased. So like if I tell you something's about to go down, when it actually drops or goes down, you're like, dang, yep, I believe what this brother has to say. My faith in his words has just increased. So that's what Yahweh Shah was kind of breaking down. He was building up that faith in them with this verse. Next one I want to grab is Isaiah chapter 34 and 16.
And it's no different than what we do here.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like when a brother's counseling, or he's giving you some kind of information on something. He's trying to show you a way to guide your house, how to maneuver on the job, how to deal with your rib, how to deal with your children, how to deal with other brothers and sisters. And you're like, I don't normally handle things like that. That's not the way I do things. But then you're like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna hear him out. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. And then it works. And it's like, dang. Well, your faith right there just increased. So you'll go back and you want to hear more what this brother has to say. Because you're like, what he says works.
But you gotta first, what you're bringing out, you gotta first hear it.
You got to first hear it.
Or it gotta be told to you. Right. What's
Come
that? Shakab, what's up?
I was looking at that. Faith is the byproduct of faith is foresight. It's being able to see something and understand that that's going to come to pass.
The byproduct, let me make sure that
Let me make sure I'm wording that
the
correctly.
byproduct of faith is foresight. Well, no. Foresight comes no, it's not the byproduct. Because as we go through it, you're going to see that, like Abraham, what did he have first? Right. And he had faith. He didn't know what to see. He didn't know what was going to, he couldn't look and say, oh yeah, if I do that, I'm gonna give birth to the 12 tribes, right? If I go from this land to that land, I'm going to be good. The Most High said, get up and go. He didn't know what to expect.
He sure didn't.
So you flip it. Right. So foresight is the byproduct of faith. But even then, is it really foresight? No, because is faith being able to see something already?
No.
No. So really, you have to have a vision for faith to be enacted. You actually you have to have goals. You have to, but that's why we're going through it the way it was, because let's really break it down. What was Abraham's vision before the Most High told him to get up out the land of his fathers and go to this land? Did he have one? The Bible don't say he had a vision before that, right? Or any vision to leave. So this thought had to be put in his head. Just like a lot of brothers and sisters that don't necessarily know their path. It has to be it has to be instilled of what you can be and what you need to be doing. Right? And then now it's the faith is, well, do I listen to the voice or do I do my own thing?
Right.
That's where it's at. So we got to separate those two things and understand that the vision, and I think he said it, the vision has to be given to you sometimes. Like Abraham, the vision was given to him. Noah, did Noah out of his own mind say, damn, let me build a boat?
No.
Nah, Noah had to be told, hey, I need you to build this boat. Now Noah could have been like, rain, bruh, the mist comes up, waters the earth, we pluck, we eat, we good. So the faith comes in where now you got to understand even where you're getting the vision from, where you're getting the instruction from. You see that? So that's what he's going through now and showing about, where you at, Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Right, go there.
34 and 16.
Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Do what?
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Go ahead.
None of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
So the main point of here was to read. So we're hearing, and now we have it in the book now, because like Padazab said, Abraham didn't read it out of a book. Noah wasn't reading it out of a book. Adam wasn't even reading out of a book. All of our past forefathers, they didn't read it out. Not all of them, but back in the beginning, they weren't reading it out of a book. They didn't have the Bible. They were going off of.
They were being instructed.
Yeah, by the Most High.
Most High was going to Noah. He went to Noah. He went to Moses. Right?
They were going off of the faith in the Most High. Not that they're schizophrenic or that they're crazy, but they're hearing this voice, the power telling them, do this, go this way, walk this way, do this, do that. The Most High communed with us back then, and that's what they went off of. They trusted that. The next scripture we're going to get is Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 12.
And like he said, it's about knowing who is giving the instruction. Where is the instruction coming from? It's like if I say, hey, Lewis, I need you to go, hop in your whip, slide down to Bissonnette. There's going to be a chick with a green thong on. I need you to grab the drugs from her. And I need you to bring them back. You're going to take, and you're going to be good, bro. It's going to be all right. Ain't going to be no static. Are you going to really have faith in that? You're going to be like, wait a minute, drugs. Green thong. Hold up. This and that. You're going to take all these factors and you're going to be like, wait, I can't put my trust in that.
God.
But if I say, hey, Lewis, listen, if you be rooted, if you study, if you commit yourself to the Most High, and if you do it in faith and belief, in word and deed and truth, if you do all these things that the Bible says, where I can show you, hey, I go here, look at Noah, look at this guy. Wouldn't you take more stock in that and put more faith in that? So it's about not just who is coming from, but where they're getting it too. Right? Because I could find a way to get you to go peddle drugs, right? But is it lawful? I can say, listen, man, we need it for the school lot. And, we got to get this rent paid. Right? We could make it sound good. But your spirit even is going to be like, wait a minute. As soon as you hear Bissonnette, as soon as I hear anything about Bissonnette, I get nervous. I drive down Bissonnette, I get nervous. I'm like, I shouldn't be on this road.
I don't want to eat nothing off of that road.
Right, but it's sad because you got to drive that way to go home. Like, it's back that way. I remember I was meeting one of the sisters to give them a credit card to buy, stuff for the garments and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm at the bank on Bissonnette, right? I was like, oh yeah, meet me across the street at the Burger King. And then I thought about it, and I was like, and I saw the activity happening. I had to hit her back like, hey, meet me down the block. I don't want to be over here, right? I don't want to have her meet me down the block because it was, so that's not one of the places where you want to be at. So, it's about examining Abraham, Noah, Moses. They had to sit back and say, wait a minute, where is this instruction coming from?
Come.
Build an ark. Okay, who's talking to me? Like he said, am I schizo? Am I hearing things, or is this a righteous voice?
Come.
Right? Wait a minute. Go get drugs and meet the chick with the thong down on Bissonnette. Is this a righteous thing to do, or is it not?
Come.
Right? And do I put faith in just because the brother said it's going to be okay? Mm-hmm. No. Just because I say it's going to be okay don't mean it's going to be okay if it's wrong. So you got to know, where is this vision? Like, we give brothers and sisters a vision.
Come.
Right? We set up things for brothers and sisters to be able to grow spiritually. Show up to class, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what harm is that going to do? That's supposed to grow you.
Come.
Right? Business meetings for the sisters and garments, and we just did the thing with the brothers on the chat, right? And what harm is going to come from that if all we're trying to do is promote the word and promote brothers to grow?
Yep.
So you got to have the faith that if I do these things that are being implemented, I won't be able to grow and move forward. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's really, you got to have a discernment also.
Come.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Who got the Isaiah 29:12?
Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 12. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned.
Now, this part of the reading, because many of us, we grew up with the Bible. Whether it was Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, some type of Christianity. We knew about the Most High in some kind of way. We called him God, and we called Yahweh Jesus Christ.
Right.
And we had this Bible. And we may have read it a couple times, may have read a couple of verses, but we didn't really grasp the full totality and concepts of the scriptures. So this one right here it's like pertaining to us in class. Hey, you're not really getting it all. Well, look, we're going to break it down for you so you can hear it and you can read it. Does that make sense? Con. From there, we're going to go to Galatians chapter 3 and verse 2. Galatians 3 and verse 2.
Galatians 3 verse 2.
Uh-huh.
The only what I learned of you, receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith.
So that's a question. Did you receive it by the works of the law, the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Like the law, you would have to have faith to even do the law. You have to have faith to just believe that not eating pork is going to be healthy for you. Not eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, roadkill, drinking blood, eating medium rare things. You have to have a type of faith to know that, okay, I'm gonna step out on faith and do the law. Yep. So you have to have faith to even start to do the law, because there's lots of people that still struggle with that today. It's a lack of believing in the scriptures. They can read it themselves and someone can break it down for them, but they don't believe the law. You don't believe you got to do it.
A lot of our people, they don't do things because they feel like they can't. Like when you tell a person that, eating pork is bad, they're like, yeah, I know. How come you don't do it? Well, I don't feel like I can. I don't think I can conquer that.
There's that too.
Smoking cigarettes is bad. I don't have the faith that I can stop. So, it's about this faith. You have to believe that the things that are good for you can be done. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't believe in the things that are good for them being done because they don't have the faith that they can execute.
Yep.
Right? So where we at?
Galatians chapter 3 verse 2.
Go ahead, read.
This only what I learned of you, received ye the Spirit by the works of the law,
right?
Or by the hearing of faith.
Now everyone could ask themselves this: did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law? You heard it by you received it by hearing of faith, by brothers giving you their story and what they've been through and what they went through. Fringes didn't build faith in nobody. Or did it? Only those Fringelites. Right? And those Beardalites. A beard didn't build faith in you. Right? I mean, think about it. Eating pork don't build faith. Or not eating pork don't build faith. Don't build your faith in anything.
That's true.
But what it is hearing, well, when I applied this method to this problem, and it came from the Bible, and it worked, that's what was supposed to build faith in us. Hearing the examples of other people, right? Hearing their faith put to use, and getting them through adverse situations, or getting them into good situations. That was supposed to give the spirit. Y'all see that? Because, I mean, again, I might ask a question. Who got the spirit off of wearing fringes? Nobody. Who got the spirit off of oh, I grew my beard out, I'm in the spirit. Nobody.
Yeah, all of us don't grow beards like that either.
Right? All of us don't have spiritual beards. Right? Right? Read it again.
This only what I learn of you.
Right?
Receive you the Spirit by the works of the law.
Yeah, did you receive the spirit by the works of the law? Well, I got my fringes on, I got the spirit. Or what? Read.
Or by the hearing of faith.
Or by the hearing of faith. Hearing others' faith.
Yeah.
The preaching of faith. Hearing about Abraham, Noah, Moses, David, Samson, Goliath, all the forefathers, all the patriarchs, all the matriarchs. Hearing all their stories and saying, wow, they did that? Wait a minute. Samson slew 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass? Oh, so I can get over a cigarette. Oh, David he was supposed to get 204 skins but got 400? Oh, okay, yeah, I can get over my drug addiction. Oh, I can beat this problem. Or I can conquer this demon.
It's possible.
It's possible. Oh, Yahweh Shai walk perfect? Wait a minute. Okay, so I know I'm not going to be able to walk super perfect, but I can at least change some of my old ways. Wow, let me at least... That should be the stepping stone for you to try.
Yeah, as hope.
That's the hope.
Knowing that it's possible. It can be accomplished. It's been accomplished. It's not nothing new. Next scripture I want to get is Romans chapter 10, verse 17.
Romans 10 and 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High.
Did you already have that scripture? Did I call it already? Oh, shoot. I was like, dang, you had that quick.
Everybody's in the spirit.
So the faith comes by hearing. And hearing the scriptures. Hearing the word of God. That's what Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, that's what they all went off of. They went off of the faith of the Spirit. Next scripture we're going to go to is Galatians chapter 3 and verse 5. So, this block of scripture that we're going over, we're hearing, y'all online are hearing, y'all in class are hearing, and that's one of the processes of learning faith. You're hearing it. That's one of the processes of learning, is to hear. That's why we got class. Shoot, even outside of this school, that's why there's schools all across the world, so that you can go somewhere and hear someone talk about something, so that you can learn. So this is the beginning process, a learning process, hearing and reading. Give me that Galatians 3 and 5.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 5. He therefore that ministered to you the Spirit, and worketh miracles among you.
Go ahead.
Doeth he it by the works of the law.
Okay, so is it the law that gives this person these spiritual powers, or makes him be able to be confident when he speaks, or make him be able to guide and direct households, or makes him be able to accomplish great feats? Like, was it the law the reason because of the law that Samson was able to slay 1,000 men? It's like, I got the law! Ha! 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 Like, he wasn't going off of the law. The law didn't do that. But he did have the Spirit. Read on.
Or by the hearing of faith.
It was faith. Abraham, Isaac, Noah, they had the faith.
That's right.
They didn't have the book like we got right now. Like this, They didn't have all of this. They had what someone else told them. Because back then, the law was it was
oral.
Oral. It was an oral tradition.
Yeah.
So my grandfather would tell my dad, and my dad would tell me, and I would tell my sons, and my sons would tell their sons. And it just went down like that. So, read verse 6.
Verse 6. Even as Abraham believed the Most High, and it was accounted to him for righteousness.
All he did was believe. Most High didn't have to ascend in the chariot. He didn't have to leap off the throne. He didn't have to send billions and billions of angels to come and say, Abraham, you're going to have a son, and he's going to be the forefather of all the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and they're going to be the chosen seed, and da-da-da-da-da. He didn't have to come bring all that in all his majestic glory. Right. It said Abraham believed God. He's just like, Most High is like, hey, Abraham, I need you to leave your father's house. Con, I'm with it. Abraham, go here. Con. Abraham, you're going to have a son. Con.
Yep.
Like, I believe you. And there was no back and forth. Man, I wonder, I know he said that, but is that real? No, he heard it. He understood easily because we had an oral tradition back then.
Right.
Now, that was a key way of learning, just hearing. Abraham just heard, Most High talked to him, and that was it. He was good with it. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7.
And you know what's cool about Abraham as well is that when you read about Abraham, it tells you that he believed in only one God because he would look at like the sun. And because he'll look at the nations that will worship the sun, and he'll be like, okay, but the sun don't just do what it wants to do. The sun has to move at a certain, it moves like somebody had to make it move the way it moves. Yeah, it's controlled. So he looked at all the other things that all the other gods that the nations worship, and he seen that they were controlled, but the Most High, he wasn't controlled. You see what I'm saying? So with that, he'll look at that and then he'll be like, that's what Abraham did when he looked at the Most High compared to all these other nations and their gods. Right. So with that, he was all the way in. That's how we gotta be.
Done.
Because I mean, think about it. We look at Christianity, we like, yeah, that's trash. Catholicism, trash. Jehovah's Witness, trash. Anything that comes from Africa, any gods that they believe with the voodoo and all that garbage, that's trash.
Right.
Islam, trash. I mean, Buddhist, trash. We could look at all of it and just be like, yeah, it's all trash. So we got to have that same mentality when it comes to the scriptures and the Most High. Yeah, like all that other stuff, that's trash. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you wouldn't be listening right now if you didn't think it was trash. So with us seeing and believing that it is trash and that the Most High is, then we got to have the same faith that Abraham had.
Con.
Complete utter trust.
Complete.
Con.
God.
Well said, brother. Well said. Hebrews 11 and 7.
Hebrews 11 and 7. By faith, Noah being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear.
Wait, hold on. No, someone had to come convince Noah. Read it from the top.
By faith, Noah being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
So Noah just he heard and just acted. He didn't have to get a million different scriptures. He didn't have to get counsel after counsel. He didn't have to have it written down. He didn't have to say, okay, here, Noah, look, this is wood. Chop this tree down, make planks, and build a boat. We're going to call it an ark, and it's going to rain, and this is going to save you. He didn't say, look, okay, let me show you how it works. Let me build the boat for you. Okay, look, Noah, this is a boat, this is an ark. It's going to rain. Oh, you don't believe? Oh, well, let me make it rain and show you that this will float on the water. No, he didn't have to go through all that with them. He just told them. So Noah, you can say Noah was an audible learner.
Right.
He learned just by hearing. Read on.
By the which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Go ahead.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went.
So Abraham too, same way, just packed up and left. It didn't take a bunch of convincing. It didn't take a bunch of scriptures. He didn't have his faith, or faith wasn't even a question. He didn't. The learning of the faith was the receiving of the person that was telling him what to do. Receiving from what the Most High told him was like, okay, just like what Quadazar was talking about earlier. This is a valid source. This is a good source that's telling me what to do. I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna just do it. And then every time, like each time a brother or sister rolls in faith and things work out, that faith, that mustard seed is growing and growing. Now, faith of a mustard seed, the mustard seed is a very small seed, but it grows up to be a huge tree. Very huge.
It's in fact the smallest seed.
It's the smallest seed.
You can read up to verse 6. That'll go right with the trust.
And before we jump, I just want to make sure I clear something up. Go back to Romans. I just want to make sure that this is clear about the law and faith. Where was it? It was Romans. I receive you the Spirit by the law. Where's that at? That was
14.
Right. Read that for me. I just want to make sure that that's clear. Wasn't it?
Galatians 3 and 2.
Actually, Galatians 3. I just want to make sure that that is clear.
3 and 5.
Read Galatians 3.
3 and 2.
And is it 2?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, read that.
Galatians 3 verse 2. This only what I learned of you.
Right?
Received ye the Spirit by the works of the law,
Go ahead.
or by the hearing of faith?
Read.
Are ye so foolish?
Right. So, receive you the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith. Right? Just want to make sure that this is clear. Now, we do have to remember that when you were out on the streets doing your negative, doing your dirt, the law didn't give you the Spirit until what? You didn't have the Spirit on you until what? You came in.
You came in and believed.
You came in. You had that faith to come in and follow the law, right? And then you stop through the practicing of the law, through the everyday having the faith that if I do stop eating pork, I'm not gonna get sick. If I do wear my fringes, it's gonna remind me of the law. If I stop chopping down my beard, if I stop beating my woman, if I stop drinking excessively, all these different things were going to make me into this spiritual person. So I do want to make sure that I make that clear. I don't want it to sound like, we don't got to have faith in the law. Well, how do we know that we have faith in the law? Or how do we know that the law is to be followed?
Because
Well, Romans 7 tells us that the law is spiritual. Right? So we know that there is a spirit that comes from the law, that spirit of righteousness. Right? So I want to make sure that was clear because I don't want nobody to think like, well, do we follow the law or not?
No.
we definitely have to follow the law because following the law, rehearsing the righteous acts, that's going to build, and you do it in faith, that's going to build that righteous man. That's going to build that righteous brother or sister. That's going to build that wisdom. We know that keeping of the law, the Most High said that was going to be our wisdom in the sight of the nations, right? And in the sight of each other. So I just want to make that clear. You didn't receive the Spirit when you were out there doing negative, but then when somebody said, hey, you're an Israelite, you got that flyer, you saw that cable show, right? And then when you said, you know what, let me take that little step to go see what they're talking about, then you start doing the law. And you start doing it in faith and you start doing it consistently. That builds you into a spiritual man. That builds you into a spiritual woman. Because remember the law, and I was saying about the beardolite, the fringeolite, because you got those people that believe that the law is only those things. My beard, my fringes, my outer. We know the law is about, and not just beard and fringes, but it's about how I deal with the next man. Moral, civil, right? Dietary. We know that the law is comprised of all these things, but you do have some that, I'm keeping the law. I got my beard. I'm keeping the law. I got the fringes, but you're hateful. You're a murmurer. You're a talebearer. You have no patience. You have no discernment. All these things are part of the law, right? So I just want to make sure that, I mean, that's clear, right? For brothers and sisters? Okay. I just want to make sure, I just want to clear that up and, you know, just make sure I use the right words when bringing that one out. All right? So let's jump back. Let's jump back.
Where are you at, Shamiar?
I think Hebrews 11.
Hebrews 11.
Hebrews 11.
Okay. You know what? And Khan, I heard you, Brother Lewis. We're gonna hold that verse though.
Oh, okay.
It's in here.
Okay, come on.
You talking about reading up?
Yeah. I don't want to jump.
So I can.
All right. Give me Romans chapter 4, verse 20.
You know, in this Hebrews 11 and 7, right, when it was talking about Noah, how the Most High warned Noah, and Noah went and made the ark, right? It's, if you don't mind, can we read it again?
Oh, go ahead.
It was a point that I wanted to make. Can you read Hebrews 11 and 7?
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7.
Go ahead.
By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear.
So we know what the Most High warned Noah about. He was going to flood the earth, right? So you can look at it just like in today's time. The Most High is going to burn this place. So the Most High, he's warning all of us. It's like we're Noah. So we got to move with the same fear that Noah moved in. Read.
Prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
And come on, ain't you? That's what this whole thing is about. That's why we sitting in class and trying to get our spirit right. It's we're pretty much that ark.
Spiritual ark.
We're that spiritual ark. We're trying to save our people from this flood that's going to happen, right? But there was a very cold part about this. Read.
By the which he condemned the world.
And we are condemning the world because we're not with the world. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we teach it, but just by us living the way that we live and following what the Most High has taught us, we're condemning the world. We're walking contrary to it, right?
And only because they don't want to step into that light. It's not like we're literally saying, "Oh, you got hate in your heart. You're condemned." We don't have that power. But like you said, the way we walk and the way they walk, they basically are condemning themselves. You see that? So yeah, go ahead.
And became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
But you know what's cold about this whole thing with Noah, right? The Most High told Noah, "Listen, prepare the ark. I'm going to destroy this place." But when you think about it, right? When you read that story, it's not like the Most High. It's not like Noah was just chilling and the Most High walked by him and was like, "Hey, I'm going to flood the earth, build you an ark, and that's it. See you later." He ain't doing like that.
Nah,
like he came to
I
Noah.
with that.
He came to Noah. He was like, "Listen, I'm gonna flood this place, build you an ark, build it with this wood. I'm sorry for knocking the table, but build it with this wood, build it this high, build it this long. I want you to get these animals." He gave such detail that Noah would have had to have been a fool for him not to believe the Most High. You see what I'm saying? And then with everything that's going on around Noah would literally have to been I don't want to say a retard, but he would have to be a reject to not believe everything with that to not believe everything the Most High was telling him about the Most High for the flood the earth. It's just like today. Like we see everything that's going on, and we reading detail by detail in these scriptures. We read detailed prophecies, we read detailed histories, detailed things concerning the spirit that we've used and that we've applied that's made us to grow. And on top of all that, you just look at the world and the world is just crashing. You got hornets that's killing you. You got the hornets that's killing us now. So, I mean, just like with Noah, you would have to be a reject to not hear it and not believe it. So it's the same thing, man. It's the same process. The same way Noah had that faith and he built his ark with the dimensions and with this wood. It's the same thing that we're doing. Except we're not building a literal ark, but we're building our spiritual. We're building our spirit, and it goes into this into the fruits of the spirit that we're dealing with right now. We're building our spirit, our spiritual ark, with all these different fruits, man. From long suffering, love, joy, peace, temperance, faith, gentleness, all these things, we're building in this ark to take us, and whoever wants to hop in with us. So, yeah, that was the point I want to make.
Where we at?
Read on.
Romans 4:20.
Oh yeah, Romans chapter 4, verse 20.
Romans chapter 4, verse 20. He staggered not at the promise of the Most High through unbelief.
So he wasn't tripping, he wasn't hung up, he wasn't double-minded from what the Most High told him. Wrong time.
Read again.
He staggered not at the promise of the Most High through unbelief, but was strong in faith,
All right.
giving glory to the Most High.
So again, he heard it and he rode with it. He wasn't double-minded, he didn't second question, he didn't second guess.
Yep.
Wasn't hesitant.
He wasn't hesitant. You know, he understood that it was from a true source.
Exactly.
And he wrote with the information. Now, this is a credit to Abraham, to Noah, to our forefathers.
Right.
Yep.
Sarah,
Esther, Ruth,
Deborah.
I thought Ruth was so cold because she was like, look, I'm gonna be an Israelite. Like, make me like y'all.
It's a Gentile, yep.
Yep. But yeah, so read on.
And being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able also to perform.
So he was persuaded. There was no doubt in his mind that these things were going to come to pass, that these promises were going to come to him and his people, his lineage. He was fully persuaded. It didn't take a lot for him. He just heard the word and obeyed it.
Yep.
Now think about the level of faith that you got to have to hear a word and then just obey it. Look, bro, don't be hanging out all night.
It's not good for you.
It's not good for you. Look, man,
Why?
put down the pork chops.
Why?
But
That's our people. It's always a but why instead of just, well,
Yeah.
let me consider the source, let me consider the information, and let me just roll with that.
Con.
What person is telling me, who's telling me not to be out all night? Who's telling me not to eat pork? Who's telling me to do this good for myself?
Con.
Right, is this person trying to look for my downfall? They trying to take something from me, or are they trying to help me out?
Exactly.
And that's all it really is. Noah recognized that. Abraham, again, when the Most High told Abraham, leave this land of your fathers and go to this land, I got something better. He got up and he just did it. He didn't question, well, what are you going to do for me? Why do I got to do it? What's over there? How come I can't stay here? Noah, build this ark. Moses, when you get up off, first of all, Moses, go up to Mount Sinai and I'll meet you there. Wait a minute. What you mean you're going to meet me there? Wait, why I got to go up there for? How come this? There was no how comes and whys and because and excuses. It was, okay, I'll be up there. Aaron, you make sure that nobody approaches the mountain because the Most High said if somebody does, they'll die. Right? Let's not even test that out. Because it's the Most High that's speaking, right?
Con.
Having that faith in who is telling you.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, this point is going about the auditory
Con.
of faith, the hearing it, the reading it, the hearing and reading, right? Where a lot of us got to get better at when you are told something in righteousness to just follow it. Follow it and see what happens.
Con.
See the good that can happen. A lot of us, there's too much bad that comes because when we are told, hey, just chill for a second, you'll be fine. Don't do this, don't do that, or do this or do that. We start second questioning, second guessing. You start to wonder the what ifs, why, how come, and then what happens? You make a move off of how come.
Con.
You make a move off of why. And then you come back and say, well, see, you did this. Or this person told me such and such and they made this happen to me. No. You made it happen to you because of lack of faith, lack of wanting to hear. Right? So what's the next scripture that we're going to?
Next one we're going to is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 16.
Right, so now we're going to go into the visual.
Exactly. So this next block of scripture, we're going to be going into the visual. Because
Right.
there's those visual learners. You got to see it. With you, seeing is believing. I was like, man, I don't believe I can obtain that type of righteousness that's read about in the scriptures. Oh, but then I got this man that's standing in front of me, and he's holding the standard. This is a strong, powerful individual that I want to be like someday.
No one should want to be like me, bro.
You know, so, and you're following after the strength. It's like, okay, I heard it, I read it, but I'm seeing it with my own eyes now. I'm seeing people actually do these laws, statutes, and commandments. I see people actually executing righteous judgment. Dang, I need to get more like that. So,
And let me say this too. Even on that note, that's a twofold kind of thing, because a lot of people see what we do. A lot of brothers and sisters see what we do, as far as giving up our lives,
yep.
and taking on this life of Yahweh Shai, and this life of sacrifice, and this life with a better purpose. A lot of brothers and sisters see that. And if it was just about seeing, how come they just don't do it? If seeing was believing, how come a lot of brothers and sisters don't step into that life?
Con.
So true.
Because seeing ain't just believing.
It isn't.
It's not about just seeing that. You know what we're showing y'all is that ways to build faith. You got to hear. You do have to see. You do have to do. But it ain't just one part. It ain't just, oh, I seen it, so I believe. That doesn't work like that for everybody. Some people, yeah, they seen it. Oh, wait a minute. I seen the Israelites. I never seen one before ever. I seen one. I want to be one. I know I'm one. Or I never heard an Israelite, right? When he told me that Christ was black, I showed up. And I'm here. But it doesn't work like that for every single person, where these things have to be put together. You have to see it. You have to hear it. You got to let it manifest and work in your brain. You know, and are you less of a person for that? No. People have different learning. People have different experience. So, you know, what we're going through and showing is, you know, ways to build it. You got to put yourself in positions to hear. You got to put yourselves in positions to see. And then you got to put yourself in a position to use what you hear and what you see.
Con.
So read that Matthews.
Even in all that.
Is it Matthew?
Yeah, it's Matthews 13-16. That requires being together. It requires unity. How you gonna be seeing somebody do it? How you gonna be hearing somebody talk about it if you out with
It's off by yourself, man.
off by yourself or off with some kind of worldly individual? Where's all these examples gonna come from? Where is these different types of ways of learning and being able to couple them all together gonna come from?
Right.
Read where you at.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 16.
Go ahead.
But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Blessed are your eyes, because you see. Y'all are here. Y'all are seeing individuals put into practice these law, statutes, commandments. Y'all are seeing people stepping up, laying down their lives, and moving forward in the spirit of Hamashiach. You see that. You hear it. Those of you online, you see it too. Those of you in class, you see it, you hear it. We're going through the whole process because these are the different ways of learning. Now, when you hit it at all angles, you can't help but get a full understanding, a full sphere of growth and faith. Now, all these things and all these points that we're hitting are designed to increase your faith. And these are things, like I said at the beginning of the class, that you can apply today, like immediately. You don't have to wait to apply this. Just the fact that you're online watching right now, the fact that you are in class, you're applying a faith right now. That you're applying faith that, yes, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And yes, I need to grow in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in order to teach the next man, to grow the nation, to wake up Israel, so we can get up out of here. You believe that I'm coming from the scriptures with the words that I'm saying, not saying my own words. So
just like Yahweh Shai was reminding the apostles here, blessed are your eyes because you see. I'm standing right here in front of you. Right? I'm showing you how to do the work. I'm showing you how to cast out devils. I didn't just tell you. I'm showing you that there's going to be greater things to come. I'm turning water into wine in front of you. I'm healing people in front of you. I'm cleansing people in front of you. I'm casting out devils in front of you. You're not just, like us. What do we have? We could just read about it, right? We can't see. We don't have the firsthand, like a firsthand account is the sight. We don't have the firsthand account of seeing Yahweh Shai pulling demons out of people, or even he turned water into wine. Like, we don't have that firsthand account, right? But do we not take faith in that he did it? Right, so that's why he was reminding them, blessed are your eyes for they see, and your ears for they hear. You see me do the work, you hear me do it,
Right.
you can watch me actually put these things into practice. Right, watch, read on.
For verily, I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see.
Yeah, many prophets. Think about Moses. The one thing that Moses was supposed to do was lead us to where? Did he see it? But did he not still move in faith towards it? Abraham, did he see the 12 tribes? But he was promised that he would bring forth nations, great nations, right? Did he see? Look at now all the sons that came from Abraham. All the 12. What is it? Ishmael. His 12 princes, 12 tribes, and all these other. Like he said, he's gonna have children as the sand of the sea, right?
Yeah.
Did Abraham see that? He seen a few of his children, but did he see the whole immense sand of the sea? Like I can only imagine if Abraham could stand here right now, right, and look and say, wow, this is what you was talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I would populate literally more than half the world.
Yeah.
That's literally what he did through his seed, right? He didn't, think about it. He just moved in faith that, okay, yeah, I'm going to have some sons. I'm going to have some kids. I'm going to have some nations. Well, like, really, what does that mean? You don't really understand what that means until you're in the midst of it. Right. Noah didn't know what it meant to rain until it rained. He was like, whoa, this is what that is? But think about why did it say he moved in fear?
Trusted the Lord.
Right, because was it about the rain? Was it about the children that Abraham was going to have? Was it about the promised land for Moses? Was it really about those things? It was more so the Most High is moving me. Let me follow the Most High. Let me push towards let me just push towards what he wants. Like, Moses didn't know what the promised land was going to be like.
Right.
He was never there. He never got to taste the milk and honey.
Just trust.
But he still was an example. He still stood his ground against the Korahs and the Dathans, right? We know that Moses made his little mistake why he didn't make it. But even think about it. Even when he anointed Joshua, right? When he anointed Joshua to take the mantle, he was already told that he wasn't going to make it into the promised land. Like, listen, you ain't going to make it. Go anoint Joshua. Did you hear about Moses? Oh, yeah. And then after he anointed Joshua, he lost faith because he wasn't going to make it. No, he remained faithful. He didn't complain. He didn't murmur. He didn't fight it. He just said, you know what? Okay, I got to take I got to own up. But he still moved faithful for what? What was the purpose? What was the purpose of Noah's faith? What was the purpose of Moses' faith? Was it for themselves?
For people.
It was for the people.
It's an example.
It was an example, but they were being faithful for the people. You see that?
Like a man in his
Think
house.
about it. Noah built that ark not just for his family.
Right.
He built it for anybody that wanted to come on. It just so happened that only his family came on. Right? Moses wasn't the only one promised to go to the promised land. The whole nation was. But then we knew that wasn't going to happen because the 40 years.
Right.
But he still had to move and say, you know what? Well, what about the generation after? Let me still remain faithful. I've never seen it. I'm not going to see it. But let me still do the things that are going to get us there, like the Most High said.
Okay.
Right? So there was many things that Yahweh Shai was reminding. He reminds us. There's many things that men before us desire to see. Now, the good thing about us is we get to see things in our lives. You may not see the promised land. You may not see Noah's Ark for firsthand.
Right.
Right? You read about it, you hear stories, oh, it's over there in Tarshish. You're like, okay, yeah, I got faith in that. But now let's look at our lives. And that's all you really got to do is scale things down. There's many things that men wanted to see that they just weren't seeing.
Right.
But now the wisdom is like, no, look at this, look at this, look at this, and then watch. I'm going to let that work, make that work, make that work. And you're like, oh, wow, the Most High said he was going to do that.
Kind.
Look at this coronavirus. Oh, the Most High said he was going to send plagues. Dang. Why am I surprised? Ooh. Right? When you get your nice little car, your dope little job, your little rib, your little house, this, that. Most High said that he was going to bless you. He said that if you did what he commanded, if you did his will, he will preserve your life. Right? He said if you followed after your own life, you was going to lose it.
Kind.
If you didn't turn at his reproof, he would send calamity upon you. And it's like, oh, I'm getting hit. Damn, I don't know. I'm getting hit over here and over here. Well, didn't the Most High say it was going to happen? You're supposed to have faith in that. You see that? Read on.
And have not seen them.
Right?
And to hear those things which ye hear.
Right, because even Moses, he prophesied of Yahushua. Right? He said there was going to be one that raised up from your nation. And he was going to lead us. Right? All the prophecies in Samuel talking about David's kingdom being restored. Right? None of those men saw Yahushua like firsthand. But they believed in him.
Kind.
They didn't hear his voice, but they believed in him. They believed in a savior, that there was going to be a savior that was going to come and save Israel. There was going to be a man that was going to put himself up and sacrifice himself and shed his blood for the nation. They heard it. Moses talked about it. The whole, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. It was all written of Yahushua, but not everybody, the 12 saw him. And people of that time, David didn't see Yahushua. Did he not prophesy of him? The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. David had the belief in Yahushua. He had the faith that if he stayed faithful, that when his time comes, he'd be sitting with Yahushua. Yahushua had the faith that what? When he stayed faithful to the will of the Most High, he would sit up on the right hand.
Kind.
You see that? So there's many things that many men desire to look into and hear that they weren't able to. They had to move on not seeing, not hearing, but just believing. Go to Corinthians.
You know, it's funny. I got a little story on the scene, and not the scene, not seen but believing. My dad taught me how to drive, and man, my pops as an instructor, man, my nerves were on edge, like seriously, like. Now when we're driving, he's like, at first he started off calm. He goes, all right, son, go ahead and switch lanes. Put your blinker on, ease over to the next lane. And I'll go like this, put my blinker on. And he's like, son, get over. I'm like, yeah, I'm just making sure it's clear. I'm waiting for that car that's like a quarter mile back that way to pass me by, and then I'm gonna get over. And he's like, son, just get over. And I was like, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable right now. And he was like, look, damn it, boy, when I tell you to move, you better move, just like that. I was like, all right. And then so, me rationally in my brain, I was like, okay, it's his car. I'm gonna move when he say move. If I run into another car, it's his fault. He told me, I'm just doing what he told me to do. But I'm gonna have faith in what he say. So I'm driving, going like 50 on the street, because he tell me to go fast. 50. And he's like, get in your left-hand lane. Get in the right. All right, son, you're doing good, but you gotta look. I'm having faith. I'm just rolling it. I don't see, but I'm just moving. Whatever you say, I'm just gonna do it. And it worked out. But in just following and just doing, I got even more confidence than I already had in him. I had to have faith in what he was saying, because my life was in
Both of y'all's lives was in,
yeah,
both of y'all's lives was in
was
your hands.
in my hands.
And he wasn't going to try to get took out by your driving.
Con. So I had faith in that. I didn't see that there was no cars next to me, but I had faith that he was telling me right, and I just moved on that.
Right.
I mean that's carried me through all my life, because I just believe that the Most High got me. If I step up to the plate, the Most High is gonna be there with me.
That's right.
But from there, give me 1 Corinthians 1:22.
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 22. For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Yeah, I put this in here because, yeah, a lot of people do have to see. A lot of people, not everyone's faith is at that level, but that seeing will help them come to the level. So there's a lot of people they do need a little sign. They do need to see something. That's why we get out there in street speak. That's why we go out passing out flyers so that they can see. So they can get that sign and say, hey, you know what? Why are these guys dressing funny? What's those things hanging off your pants? Like, I had a dude, I was going to the gas station. Like, I love wearing my fringe pants. I just love them. They're my favorite pants. Ever since I first seen fringe pants, I was like, damn, I want some. I remember my first time coming in here was Kazak. He was putting up the green screen. And I was like, dang, I want some pants like those. I wasn't feeling the rest of it at the moment, but I like the pants. But yeah, so they see us and they want to know more about us. So some people do need to see. And then once they start seeing, they start knowing, they start to be able to hear. They open up. And then we can get even further. But it starts off with the sign. And even the signs are not just seeing us in the street. It's seeing us online. It's seeing the Israelites across the world. It's seeing these different things that are happening in the world that's been prophesied in the scriptures. It's the seeing and believing. Like these hornets, these wasps or whatever. Mm-hmm. Bro, I've never seen a wasp that big. The thing is like this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks prehistoric. It's so big. But
the Most High said he was going to send them things on the earth. He was going to send different,
the
scorpions. And he said the fire will be all sent out. He said that it would happen. So, me, when I see that, I'm like, no, I'm not panicking. I'm like, well, the Bible, I got faith in the scriptures. I got to have faith in one part. I'm going to have faith in all. And I got faith that the Most High said he's sending those out. Now I got to check and see, wait a minute, who's he sending them out for? The wicked? The ones that break the commandment and don't follow the laws, or the ones that are following the law? But we know that as long as we strive for the truth until death, the Most High is he's not going to send those things to us. But how do we know? How was our faith built up in that? Who in here got coronavirus? We work in the mall. We work in the mall. You worked in the mall.
all the filth.
All the filth, all the touching hands. Hey, what up? And all the different handshakes and hugs and this and holding people's babies and all that being friendly. All the stuff that people was getting sick from. Sitting this far from somebody in a drop of spit. Right in somebody's eyeball. How many times
on the lip.
How many times I done spit on this man's lip? How many times Kazak would just sneeze and it just be sneeze drift everywhere you see it like right? Now he definitely did get me sick off of his sneezing. He sneezed 1,000 times. But
It wasn't my fault.
But what I'm saying is, how do we know that if I remain faithful that things ain't going, the things that are plaguing the earth are not going to plague me? Well, again, coronavirus, high blood pressure, hypertension, running through the clinic every minute. All these different things that the earth and the world and the ones that are not in the wisdom are getting hit with, we're not getting hit with. So that should be building our faith to know that, okay, if I just do what the Most High commands, I don't got to hear too much. I don't got to see too much. I don't have to see bumps popping up to know, like, wait a minute, I shouldn't just be running around with randoms. I don't have to see that. Right? I don't have to see my weight diminish to know that, oh, crack kills. Let me just remain faithful. Somebody else is already dealing with that.
Yep.
Somebody else is already bumping up and leaking, right? So I don't have to see that. I have faith that if you I have faith like this. If you run around with enough hoes, you're going to get what hoes got. Right? When they say you lay with dogs, you get fleas. I got faith in that. I got faith in that. The scripture said, you run with foolish men, you'll be a fool.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
I got faith in that. I got faith also, but if you stay in righteousness, you'll live forever. I got faith in that. Do no harm, and no harm shall come unto thee. I got faith in that. So, I don't have to see the harm to believe, like, wait a minute, let me stay clean. I don't have to feel the harm. Some people do. The Jews require a sign. Now, there's another scripture that says a wicked and slothful generation requires a sign.
Yep.
Now, for every person that has to see it, does that make them wicked? No. What we're trying to show you is that it's not just seeing, it's not just hearing. You have to take all the different things and put them together, right? Like Isaiah 11 tells you about Yahweh Shai, and even that Isaiah 11, that's what we all should be moving in, is the Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Lord. So that he would not reprove off the hearing of his ear, side of his eyes, or the hearing of his ears, but he would write with righteous judgment, showing that it wasn't just about one part. Oh, I heard that. Well, who'd you hear it from? Oh, I seen that. Well, really? What did you see? How far away were you? And from what angle? And what did you think you saw? And putting everything together and being able to judge righteously. It's the same thing with faith, man. We got to put it all together. You get different parts at different times, so that way the faith can be solid. That way you can't be like, well, I seen that, but damn, was it real? I seen them brothers on the corner. But then you might just be flipping through channels and you hear, yeah, and Christ is black. Let's go to Revelation. You're like, what? Hold on. But them same brothers that I seen was teaching that. Now I hear, like, the best ones that I love is when you hear Esau saying, yeah, the children of Israel are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
When you hear these Gentiles teaching that, right, that should be solidifying in not our minds, because we already understand, but in the ones that don't know the truth, that they've heard it from me as a black man. They're like, well, you just saying that because you're black. You just saying Christ is black because you're black.
Yeah.
But what happens when a white man says it?
They believe it.
It should now say, wait a minute, well, if this black guy said it, he's not just saying it because he wants to be some black supremacist.
Right.
Because the white man is saying the same thing. And we know that white people don't give a damn about black people. Why would this white man be saying that? What's his agenda? Let me move in faith and see what's going on. That's how these things are supposed to work. The seeing, the hearing, the talking, the teaching. These things are supposed to go hand in hand to build that faith. Y'all get this, right? Nobody's confused? Okay. Where we at?
Look, we're gonna.
Go ahead. It's Ecclesiasticus, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we're.
Not this one. That's one.
Okay.
Right, so it's the next point, right?
Yeah. So we're going to start getting into the kinesthetic learning, which is the doing or the motion of faith. So give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 12. Because we've gotten the hearing and the reading, and we got the visual, but then when you're getting all this, there has to be an action involved too. You can't just there. Like I tell you, it was a little corny joke. Anyways, a dude he's stuck in the ocean, and
It's my corny joke.
Is it?
Yeah.
I heard this like millions of times in my life. But anyways, corny joke. So dude's like he's stuck in the water in the ocean, and the boat comes by, and it's like, hey man, look, get up on the boat. We're here to save your life. No, God is going to save me. I have faith. God is going to save me. I was like, all right. That boat passed by. Another boat come by. Hey, man, hop on the boat. No, God is going to save me. God is going to save me. Another boat come by. Dude, like, sinking, getting ready to fall. Like, dude in Titanic, fall off the raft and drift away. I was like, hey, man, here's a life raft. Take it. No, God is going to save me. And the dude drowns. He didn't take no action.
He goes to heaven, asks God, how come you didn't save me? He said, I did. I sent 3 boats.
God. He didn't take no action. Most High was sending the boats, He got the signs. He heard someone saying, I'm here to save you. He seen the boats, but he didn't want to take the action to grab.
To be saved. Yeah, he didn't want to grab onto the life raft. And the beautiful thing about the faith, like we went through it in the beginning, faith was something. It wasn't just a nothing feeling or a nothing type of thought. There was something that has to be behind faith to make it faith. And is seeing it, is believing in something that is just there. Is that faith? Like, is having faith knowing that we're live on YouTube and then watching myself on YouTube? Like, I got faith that we're on YouTube. Because I see myself? No. The faith is hoping for something, wanting it to happen, and having the belief that it will. Right? So, but you have to, for us to get on YouTube, sister got to sit here, dial it up on the YouTube, on the Google, right? Type in all the little things that she got to type in, make the little thumbnail, throw in the title, get the wire cut. Like, there got to be a work, right? You said, what is it? Kinesthetic? Right? He's using fancy words. I like it. Or the motion. There got to be a motion. Faith, it's a motion behind it, right? So where we gonna go?
Ecclesiasticus 25:12.
Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 12.
Damn, right on time.
The fear of the Most High is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
Man, cleaving unto him. That's in the what brothers go to all the time. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Cleave unto him and depart not away, for you'll be increased at thy latter end. It says faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. Like, you got to actually believe that the Most High is the rewarder of your faith. You got to actually believe and have faith that the Most High is your shield and your buckler, like David said. And then if you have that faith, you'll move and say, you know what, I'm going to just roll with the Most High. If Most High talking about this, I'm going to go just as he said. You know what? He said go to the right, I'm going to go to the right. He go to the left, I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to do what the word says, because I'm going to cleave, not only through the word, but through the spirit in faith.
To cleave, it says to hold.
God.
You have to hold on. That means you actually have to open up your hand and grab. You got to stretch out.
It's
and
an
grab.
action.
It's an action. You got to cleave. The first thing is you got to cleave to him. Well, can we cleave to the Most High himself? Well, no, I got to grab onto the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the different counsels, the different instances that are going to help me grow. I got to cleave to those things. I got to show up, right? I got to be diligent. I got to be consistent. That's going to build faith. So we got to cleave to him, right? Go to James.
Oh, like Rob got one.
Oh, you got something? Go ahead.
Can I get, I guess, you can start at verse, it's going to be John chapter 5 and verse 1. We're going to read down. You can read down kind of quick. So this is to hit like the faith like requiring motion, right? It requires you to actually put in the work. So this is going to be a story. You got it? Go ahead.
John chapter 5 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
Go ahead.
In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, wanting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool, and troubled the water. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
So, quick synopsis as we're reading. So you got at Bethsaida, you got this pool where this angel will come down at a certain time during the season. He stirs up the pool, and whoever has an issue, that the first person to go into that pool, they will be made whole. Go ahead.
And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
Go ahead.
When Yahushua saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me.
So the point that I wanted to get in going here, right? So you got this man that's been sitting there for 38 years trying to get into this pool so he can be healed. Right? 38 years. Now think about this. He said that he's at least trying to move down there to get to the pool, but he says that no man is helping him to get into the pool. So the reason why I'm going here is this. A lot of times we look at other people, instead of just trying to go and do it ourselves, why not just get closer to the pool? Get as close as you can to the pool. You know what I'm saying? So when the angel comes, you can just get in there first.
Gone.
You see what I'm saying? But he's looking at other people. A lot of times, man, when it comes to our faith, we look at other people and we determine our faith off of other people instead of depending on it with the Most High. So we'll look at other people like, man, Kobe can jump from the free throw line. I can't do that. I ain't gonna. But nah, if you maybe put the work in, you probably could.
Gone.
You see what I'm saying? So you'll look at people that is prospering or something, and you'll be like, he can do that, but that's because he's him. So I'm not even gonna try it. You see what I'm saying? Or you'll look at other people and you'll be like, oh yeah, he can't do it, so that means that I can do it. Or he can't do it, that means that I can't do it either, because he can't do it. So you let other people determine your faith, which is you should be letting the Most High determine your faith. And there's another point in here as well that I wanted to get to. Go ahead.
And let me just say something on what you said, because it's important. And it's absolutely right, because you got brothers that look at us up here and they put in their head that I can't do that.
Bro, when I first stepped foot into the...
Let me finish real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish. They put in their head that for some strange reason that I want to do it, but I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But why? Think about. I want y'all to think about this. Is a good story too. He's already by the pool.
Yeah.
You're already by the pool. You're already in class. So you're watching other men get healed.
Yeah.
That's what he sat there for 38 years and did.
Go ahead.
He sat there and watched everybody else become whole.
Oh yeah, he said they went in before him.
He said they just went in before him.
But
right?
he was there.
But he was there already. He was there. I mean, he was there.
God.
But what happened? He said, then the impotent man answered him, "Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me in the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me."
So that discourages him.
That discouraged him. Like, now I need somebody to lift me up and drop me into the water. No, that's not the case. How did he get to the pool?
He was moving.
How did he get to the pool?
He was already there.
But how did he get there? He got there. He got to the pool. It doesn't say, watch.
He moved down there.
He had to get down to the pool some way, somehow.
Yeah.
To get at least close.
To get close enough.
Yeah.
He had to have been able to have the faith to say, if I get to this pool, I'm going to be healed. How come he didn't just now take the walk? Right?
Go ahead. So when you look at the definition of impotent, right? It's not like he was
sexually impotent.
No, bro.
No, I know. No, I'm saying it's not.
I get what you're saying.
No,
but I'm not saying like it's not like his body is cut in half.
Right.
So when you look at the definition of impotent, it just means to be feeble, to be weak, to be sick, to be diseased, right? So when you look at him, he was weak. It wasn't like it didn't say like he had like, you know what I'm saying, like his leg was cut off or he didn't have legs. He could move. But the thing is that he was weak. So you'll look at people and yeah, you might be weak in certain aspects, but you'll look at people and because you're weak, you use that as your excuse.
To not take the final plunge into the pool.
Correct.
And that's why I was asking, how did he get to the pool?
Yeah.
How did he get to the pool?
Because
he had to walk down to the pool at some point. At some point, let me say this. Yeah. At some point, he had to get there. At least to the pool, right? He moved on faith to the pool, right?
God.
You walk into class on faith, right? Right. And then you'll sit there in the pool. You'll sit at this is the pool. Let's do the analogy. This is the pool you want to get to, right? and you'll sit there at the edge of the pool, and you'll tell yourself, I can't do it. I can't do it. And you'll watch other men come in, walk to the pool, and then they'll end up here. Damn, he got to the pool. How come I can't get to the pool? Well, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not strong enough. Oh, I'm too weak. Oh, I don't have the faith. And then another man will come. He'll walk to the pool. He'll sit there. He'll learn. He'll come into the pool. And that's 4 men, right? And 5 men. And year after year, you see all these men jumping into the pool, right?
Done.
Why? Why?
Because he has fear.
Right. Because he's not using the faith.
Right.
He's not using the little bit that got him to the pool.
Right.
The little bit that got you in the door, you're supposed to use that to propel you to greater things, abounding more and more.
Bring it out.
That's what it was about. Like, you got to ask yourself, how did he get there? We all weak as hell coming in, right?
He obviously can move around because it's not like he's just.
Thank you. That is.
Peeing.
He's not made.
Right. That's why I said it
Limitless.
wasn't impotence, like sexual impotence.
Yeah.
He was able to move around. How did he get to the pool? How did you get through the doors? We all come in weak. We all come in weak in certain aspects. But that same faith that you came in with, that was supposed to grow by seeing, oh, wait a minute. This man went from here to here. He went from the edge of the pool into the pool, came out, and he was a glorious man. Whatever was his arm chopped or whatever it was, he came out, he was healed. I want that. Man, let me try. Let me try.
And even if like the people are like moving before him, right? At some point you got to say, okay, what can I do to get there before them? Like, how can, like, every time I'm gonna go into the pool and somebody beats me, you should be thinking like, okay, what do I need to do to make it even faster? Or how can I'm not just gonna keep taking the same path to the pool. Like, let me get my bed a little bit closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what do they call it? When you keep doing the same thing, but you expect the same. Yeah, he's pretty much in insanity for 38 years. Like, every time you do something and it fails, it's like you don't try to come at it from a different angle or from a different view. He keeps trying to do the same thing, but there's a point in here that's very.
And let me say one thing also. He was waiting on somebody else.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He was looking at somebody else to come and put him in the pool.
Right. Instead of doing the same thing he did before he got to the pool, which was get up and push yourself in faith. The faith is what got him to the pool. Think about it.
John.
All he had was somebody tell him, "Hey, if you go to this pool, you'll get healed."
And he's seen other people.
And he's seen other people get healed. So he heard it. He's seen it. But now he had to make it from his house to the pool. But then not only get to the pool, he had to hop in. Oh, I heard that there's some Israelites down the block at 8524 South Braeswood.
Yep.
Then you drive by and you hear us yelling on the damn corner like, damn, they are there. Right? Then you got to have the same faith to walk into the class. Then you got to have the same faith to sit there and take the chastisement, the exhortation, the correction, the uplifting, the buffeting, the reproach, the reproof. You got to sit there and have faith that all these things are going to work in my life.
Yep.
Why? 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 And by what means? By faith. But then now, is it just sitting there? Well, no, you're taught that it's not just about, oh, Christ is black, that's it. Christ is black, what do I do with it? Right? Oh, now I got to use it. Now it could be a benefit to my people. Well, am I going to wait for somebody to put me up here? Did I wait? I didn't wait for nobody to put me up here. I used the same thing that got me from wherever the hell I was at to push me and propel me to where I'm at. Nobody was like, oh, it's your time. The Spirit was like, it's my time. Right. And brothers around me recognized that, okay, he's doing things in the Spirit. It's the same thing with all of us.
So you mean to say, like, when it comes to laying down your life, they didn't say, okay, here, look, let me lay your life down for you.
No man could lay down my life for me, but no man could. No, there was nothing. Yep. I had to in order to achieve the vision that I had to put in the work to do it.
Okay.
So what was that? Studying, listening, count, like all the things that we talk about, all the things of a bishop. I had to do those things in faith, knowing that they would work. Knowing that if I hopped into the pool, I was going to get sick. But I got to the pool, but I couldn't just watch everybody else swim. Everybody else having fun swimming. I'm at the corner like just trying to dip my toes. Nah, I want to jump in the pool too. Well, you got to get your life raft. You got to get your swim trunks. You got to get this. You got to get that. You got to be equipped to swim. Right?
Got it.
So I had to get the equipment. I had to equip myself with all the things that the men and the body provided for me to be able to swim.
Got it.
Same thing with this man. And I couldn't wait. This man was waiting. Waited on people. So where was his faith? Because watch this. Read on. Watch this. Read verse 8.
Verse 8, Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk.
He was waiting for somebody to tell him to walk. Like, come on, bro. You need somebody to tell you to walk? Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And what happened?
And immediately the man was made whole.
Wait, what?
Immediately.
So you mean to tell me that he sat around for 38 years sick as hell when in 5 seconds, in 3 words, rise, take thy bed, and walk, he was healed? Come on, man. He probably just had to, you know how you test the, he probably just had to do that to the water.
Splash.
And he was good. Splash your chest, man. You gotta really think about it. It's a good story. You gotta really think, like, rise, take thy bed, walk. He was waiting for somebody to tell him to do something that he was already doing? That he already did?
Because how else did his bed get there?
That's my point.
And like I said, he wasn't peeing and pooping on his bed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
How else
So-
did he get there?
Yeah.
How else did he get there? He had to have had faith to get down there.
And it was a pool. It was a pool in the middle of the marketplace, of the sheep marketplace. So that wasn't like a dirty spot. So you wasn't just gonna have your bed here and peeing and pooping right here. Like when you had to pee and poop, you had to move around. You had to get away from there. You see what I'm saying? So you had to actually go to the place. So he knew he could actually.
Damn, bro, for 38 years, you watch people get healed when all you had to do was just get the hell up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Push yourself. Push yourself that if I push myself, I'm going to get what everybody else is getting. Not sitting back. Think about how sitting around and waiting and not moving in faith, you start watching everybody else and you develop that jealousy, that envy, that contentious spirit, because it's like, well, I'm not getting blessed. I'm not getting what everybody else is. Well, you're not doing what everybody else is doing. If he sat there and complained, it's like, bro, you just laying here. Get up and do what everybody else is doing. You're getting beat to the jump because everybody else is walking. Now, you might not be able to walk as fast, but I would have at least been trying to stand up for the time when that angel came. He knew the whole ins and outs of the program. The angel, he knew the time.
8 years.
38 years. He knew the time. He knew the day. He knew the location. He knew how.
First
He
3
sat.
years, you would have figured everything out.
But he was waiting for someone to put faith in him, where all it was just do what you've been doing. I tell brothers to do what you've been doing, and it'll increase in you.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can say one more thing, you know, in verse 3, right?
Right.
It says, "In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered." Right.
Right.
That's how all of us came in. We all came in blind. We didn't know. I definitely came in blind. I didn't know nothing about the scriptures. We all came in impotent, meaning you was sick, you was weak, you was feeble. But that's in the spirit, right? Maybe you came in with a 6-pack, abs, strong as hell. You know, but that's bodily wise. But you was blind spiritually. You was impotent spiritually. You was halt and withered spiritually. We all came in like that.
Like, how did the blind dude know how to get into the pool?
Yeah, like how did he know where it was at?
He was blind. He heard splashing. He used his other senses. Was like, I'm gonna find that pool. I don't want to be blind no more. The need to be healed or to be better took over the need of, well, I'm just gonna let somebody else do it for me.
And that's what it is, bro. It's that need. It's that need. It's that want. It's like, how bad do you want it? Like you'll see him fighting all the time. They'll be like, oh yeah, he just wanted it more. He
was a smaller guy. He had the shorter reach.
Yeah.
He weighed less.
Yep.
But how he knock out a dude that big? Well, he wanted it. He wanted it more.
Hey, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog.
Right. So let's finish it up. We got 3-4 minutes, but let's knock out these last couple of scriptures. Go to James, right?
Yeah, James chapter 2 verse 14.
And this is going to be, this is going to epitomize the story that we just read. you know, is gonna really just bring it to light. Yeah, real good story, man. I can't swim. Yeah, well, I'm sure all you have to do is dip your ankles.
Nah.
Get the ankles wet.
I know this brother right here. He said he can't swim, but he also told me he couldn't read either. So
right,
you know.
I know who that is. So I'm like, he can't read, can't swim, but that's my point. Brothers that put themselves in a box and they can't do something, but you can.
God.
All you got to do is just do it. I can't walk, but you've been walking. You walked your whole life. You've been reading your whole life. You've been swimming your whole life. Peter, you've been walking on water. Why you start sinking now? Because you start thinking about the fact that you're doing it and what you can do. Read that, James 2:14.
James chapter 2 verse 14.
Jump down, actually. Jump down. Go to 17.
Verse 17.
Right?
Even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone.
Right? Go ahead.
Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith.
Just like this man. He was like, I'm faithful. The dude at the pool. I'm faithful. I'm faithful. I'm faithful. But are you?
Okay.
Blah.
Read.
And I have works.
Right?
Show me thy faith without thy works.
Right. How can you show faith without work? How can you really be a faithful man without the works? Because faith was something that you had to do. Faith was something that could be shown by what you did. Right? If I'm the biggest, baddest drug dealer in the world, who's going to believe me until they see what? They got to see that work.
Yep.
Right? Oh, you the biggest drug dealer? Well, let's see them pounds.
Yep.
Right? You had to have the work behind what you said you were. Go ahead.
And I will show thee my faith by my works.
Right, because that's what it was about. That's how faith was exemplified. Through your works. Faith without works is dead. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But those were all accomplished through your works. That's why, and I went back and cleaned it up about the law, doing the law. That built the faith. It made you faithful. But you had to first start. You had to do one little thing, which was easy. Man, let me throw them fringes on. Man, I throw them fringes on. It makes me more now conscious of who I am and what I represent. Damn, well, I can't rock the fringes without the beard. That don't even make sense, right? And then while you do these things, you start to inquire more why they're necessary and why they're needed. Then you start to hold yourself at a different standard. Because if I look the part, I got to appear the part. Right? And that's how a righteous man is going to think. A man whose conscience is towards the Most High. You're not doing it, I got to look the part for show. But if I'm looking it, now I have to actually be it. I got to be I got to be the fringes. I got to be the beard. I got to be the love to your brother. I got to be the loving the Most High and not putting anything before him. I got to be that. Mm-hmm. But then that's going to build up that faith. Because now that I do these things and I see, well, the scripture said I got a problem with a brother. And if I go to him, and if he hears me, I want a brother. Well, let me try that law. Oh, I tried it. Oh, snap. Damn, son. It worked. Right? It worked. So guess what? Every time I have a problem with a brother, I'm going to try that. It's probably going to work 99.99% of the time. But at least you know you tried that and you got good results every time. That's going to build the faith in the word. Right? Read on.
Verse 19.
That's it on that. Oh, no, read on. Watch. Read on.
Thou believest that there is one power.
Right?
Thou doest well.
Right, because we all believe in the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
The devils also believe.
Right?
And tremble.
They do what?
Tremble.
They tremble, man. The devils believe, but they show some type of fear. They don't just, oh yeah, I believe in God. Pork sandwich. Oh yeah, I believe in God. Anal sex. Oh yeah, I believe in God. Let me snort this line. They're like, yeah, we believe, but we got some fear behind us. We got some works with our fear, with our belief. And that's how we gotta be. Go ahead.
But wilt thou know, O vain man,
read,
that faith without works is dead?
Right, and this is what we have to understand, that the faith and say, oh, I believe, without putting it to action, I believe in the law, without using it, that's dead, man. It's vanity. That's why I said it earlier about the beardalites and the fringelites. You got some that only believe that the fringes and the beard, and that's it. That's the totality of things. As long as I'm doing those things, I'm good.
But now you got to put the other things to use. Oh, a sister believes that I'm righteous because I got a hair wrap on. Okay, well, you have to exemplify the righteousness. You have to be righteous.
Okay.
So you can have a hair wrap and sound like a damn dog. You a dog with a hair wrap.
Brute beast with a head wrap.
Right? Now it's vanity. Now you're doing it to be seen. Go ahead.
Was not Abraham, our fathers, justified by works?
Right.
When he had offered Isaac, his son, upon the altar.
Go ahead.
Seest thou how faith wrought with his works?
Because what was the faith? His work was to take Isaac, but what faith did he have?
Most High could raise Isaac back up.
That the Most High could raise Isaac back up or give him, because the promise was what? That in Isaac, right, that it was going to be the righteous seed.
Okay.
So he had belief that, yeah, I could offer Isaac, but the Most High could raise him back up. Or give me another Isaac, right? Either way it went. He had the belief that the Most High said it and he was going to do it.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And by works was faith made perfect.
You see that? And by the work, he didn't have to really offer Isaac, but by just walking to that mountain, setting up that altar, laying Isaac on it, raising that knife, he showed, okay, you're a faithful man. A lot of times, that's all the Most High wants from us. He don't want you to sacrifice what you got. He just wants to see, are you going to put those things before him and have faith that if you don't have it, you believe that he's going to give it back. But what happens? We complain, we murmur, we backbite, we get mad, we get upset, we get jealous because of the things you don't have. Y'all see this? Right, from there. From there, go to, y'all can throw in y'all notes, 2 Esdras 9 and verse 6 through 8. And let's conclude it. Let's go to Hebrews 11 and verse 6. Can't have a faith class without this scripture. What's that?
The Esdras again?
Esdras 9 and verse 6. 2 Esdras 9 and verse 6 through 8.
You know, I was going to say, you know, sometimes when you're not doing anything, you just got to you got to sit and just meditate on the Most High and like just meditate on having faith in Him and why the Most High requires you to have faith in Him. Meditate on why would the Most High test Abraham to the point where He would have him offer up his own son. You got to meditate on these different instances in the scriptures where men had to use their faith and just meditate like, man, what is it that the Most High wants from me? Like, why does He want me to be
The Most High
so
wants that
faithful in Him? You know what I'm saying?
He wants that unfeigned love, that unfeigned loyalty. What was the first commandment of the 10?
You know,
have no powers before me.
That's actually what it is.
He wanted to make sure that no matter what I gave you, you weren't going to put that before me and then feel like, well, since I gave you something, that I couldn't take it and then give it back. Think about the Sabbath. Think about the Sabbath and the manna. Was that not all designed off of faith?
Yep, definitely was.
You have to have faith to understand that the Most High said, go gather for double on the 6th day, and you'll be good for the 6th day and the 7th.
Yes, sir.
Right? But then the faithless did what? They went out there on the Sabbath trying to gather food. Or they try to store it up. He said, don't store up nothing. Go out every day. There's going to be enough for you every single day. The unfaithful would do what? Oh, I got to store this in my cupboards. I got to store it in the fridge.
Might not be there tomorrow.
But no, when it rotted in their cupboards. Rotted in between their teeth. So even the Sabbath and the manna. Remember we read in the Sabbath class this past Sabbath about when you went into this land and you planted trees, you couldn't eat from them trees for 5 years.
Hell yeah,
5 years you had to sit there and watch a tree grow, drop its fruit, and their fruit looked good. He said they were uncircumcised fruit. Let those fall, right? On the 5th year, fourth year you have to give to me. 5th year you could eat. How many of us could have that amount of faith to where I gotta watch this tree bear fruit drop 5 years straight?
5 years.
When I could, oh my God, it's so succulent. You could smell mangoes on a tree if you didn't know that. If anybody know about a mango tree, you could smell the mangoes on the tree ripening. Tambourine and all these different things that we used to growing up and eating. Almonds, you could smell them on the tree. When they fall, you can smell them. And then you see them being eaten, and you're like, man, that thing's going to waste, right? Let me go get that. Can't let it go. Last year, they all went to waste, man. I know it's only year 2, but the faith was what? By the 5th year, the Most High was going to replenish 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 6th year, you was going to have enough for what? The Sabbath of the land. Right? Even that land Sabbath where you couldn't mess with that land on the 7th year.
You only got 2 years in the beginning.
Yeah. But that land Sabbath, you couldn't mess with that land on the 7th year. So that means on the 6th year, you had to have faith that you were going to get enough for the 6th and for the 7th. But you had to put in work. You couldn't just do the same work you did on the 5th year for the double. Think about Joseph with the famine.
Yep.
He had to put in a work, a thinking, a doing to say, you know what? We got to store up for the 7 years of plenty. For the 7 years of the famine. We got to make sure we put something into play. We got to have works behind our faith. I know we're going to eat, but how we going to do it? Oh, well, we got storehouses. Oh, wait, we got a system. What if you have a system? You could believe you're going to eat all day. Them niggas would have starved. You had to have something in play. You had to have works. Right? Read this. Hebrews 11:6.
Hebrews 11 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
But without faith,
And this is to conclude, man, that without faith, what?
it is impossible to please him.
Go ahead.
For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he
You
is.
got to believe that the Most High is. You got to believe that he is what he says. And he is what he said he's going to do. Listen, it's going to be 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty. You got to believe it. What if Joseph didn't believe that? What if Abraham didn't believe, well, if I just get up and go out of my father's land, and the Most High is going to do what he did? Right. He would have sat there, and who knows what would have happened. But he wouldn't have been pleasing the Most High. Joseph. What if Moses would have came down and I'm gonna build the Ark of the Covenant the way I want, because I don't have faith in what the Most High. You know, there was some dude up there, and he was burning in a bush, and I don't know about that, bro. So, but he gave me his instructions. Oh, they look right, but I'm going to change this and change that. Everything would have been thrown off. The tabernacle would have just imploded. The mercy seat wouldn't have been right. All these things he wouldn't have been able to please the Most High.
Oh, but he would have been like, yeah, but you told me wrong. But he changed a little bit of the counsel.
But you changed some of the counsel. and that I like that point. Because that's it a lot of times too, man. Following things to the T to get the right result, but if you change it out of lack of faith and it don't work, whose fault is that? You gotta have, but now you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing the right will to get the right result. That's your own fault. That's happened to many of your brothers and sisters. Well, did you do? Well, yeah, I did all that, but then at this point, I did something different because I didn't see the point of that. Right. Whoa, wait, what? Well, that's why you got the different result. Because when that brother did the same thing, guess what? Look at him. Or when that sister did the same thing, look at her. Go ahead, read on.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
See, faith was about what?
Diligently seek him.
It was about diligently seeking the Most High. There had to be work. There had to be a diligence. There had to be a consistency. There had to be a listening to the plan, following the vision. He was a rewarder that the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your labor and love. Right. That if I put on the hair wrap, if I threw on the fringes, if I put on the beard, and not only those things, but if I followed and kept my mind right, that the Most High will reward. He will reward my works. What do you say? Commit your thoughts, commit your works to the Most High, he'll establish your thoughts.
Proverbs 16:3.
Right, that if I committed my work, my hands to him, my mind would be aligned with the righteous works.
Yes, sir.
There had to be faith in that. He was a rewarder of them that diligently seek, but bringing it back, why do a lot of people not get rewarded the way they feel? Well, without faith, it's impossible to please. He's not pleased. He's not pleased with what you were doing. He wasn't pleased with us in the world. You think he's pleased with the Christian church? Like, oh yeah, they got it over there. I'm pleased with them. They telling people to eat pork and just confess. I just mix Christianity with Catholicism, right?
It's all the same.
It's all the same, right? But you think he's pleased with that? Oh yeah, you just show up once a week, throw your Bible in the back of the car, let it sit there, and then just be wicked the whole week, and then come to me and pray, and I'm with that? There has to be a faith that if I diligently change, put off that old man, put on that new man, if I diligently use the word, if I kept hearing, right? If I kept listening, if we kept teaching, because it's a two-way thing too, even us. Keep teaching. Prophesy to the wind. Right. The word of the Most High don't go out void. We got to take faith in that. Right? Or we can say, well, what's the point? Niggas ain't listening anyway, man. Let me sit at home. Let me just chill. Right? But was it about y'all listening or anybody listening? No. It was about what pleases the Most High.
Right.
Well, it pleases the Most High, and if you're a teacher, to keep teaching. And he'll show you that it didn't go out void. Because that cable show you did 5 years ago, or the spree speaking you did, or the class you did, somebody heard that.
That's right.
And it might have took them a little while to get it, because they needed to put the pieces together, but guess what? They got it. And they're here. Right? But he does that to us all the time. Where it's like, man, I've been watching y'all for 6 years. What? Where? Yeah, on Facebook, like, or YouTube, like for 6 years, son? And he ain't said a peep.
He like,
well, he been watching for 6 years.
right over here across the street.
I've been driving past y'all for 8 years. I know who y'all are, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just watching. Oh, okay. We stay diligent in our work. We have the faith that, yes, the word of the Most High don't go out void. Right. But if you lose that, then you're not going to be pleasing the Most High on either account. Y'all see that? Right. Go to, let's hit Hebrews 3 and 12. Hebrews 3 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 12.
Right.
Take heed, brethren.
Read.
Lest there be in any of you.
And we got to take heed, man. We all got to take heed and sit back and look and say, man, what is my faith? Where is my alliance? What do I put faith in? A lot of us, Mustafa said it, we've been saying it, you put that faith in that paycheck. You'll work for the white man for 2 weeks and be like, yeah, he's going to pay me. He definitely going to pay me. You put the faith in the 401k, what happened? A few years later, you down a couple of G's.
Gone.
Right? You down. You put your faith in Social Security, that's gone.
Everyone down because of Corona.
Yeah. You put your faith in the wrong thing and you'll get the results of that. You'll be lacking. Go ahead, read.
Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief.
And a what?
Evil heart of unbelief.
That's what it boils down to, man. It's an evil heart that's springing up with that unbelief, with that lack of faith. It starts to turn evil if you dwell on that mind. Go ahead.
In departing from the living power.
Right, because it said that the beginning of faith is to cleave to the Most High, right? So the unbelief is to depart from the power. And you're really departing from your salvation. Go to 1 Timothy 4 and verse 9. And we'll end it here. Wait, there was one more. Where's the last scripture that you had? And then we'll end it there. 1 Timothy 4 and 9.
1 Peter 1:9.
Right. 1 Timothy 4 and 9. Who got it? Come on, Lewis.
1 Timothy 4 and 9.
Read.
This is a faithful saying.
Right.
And worthy of all acceptation.
Go ahead.
For, therefore, we both labor.
We both do what?
We both labor.
We go to works. Go ahead.
And suffer reproach.
And we go through what we go through in this labor. Read.
Because we trust in the living God.
Read on.
Who is the Savior of all men.
See, he's the Savior of all men, but what type of man? Read.
Especially of those that believe.
Right, because without faith, it's impossible to please him. You got to know that when you come to him that he is. You got to know, he said when you ask for anything, ask in faith with nothing wavering. Right? So there has to be a mindset when dealing with the Most High, when dealing in the Spirit, that when I'm stepping here, when I'm stepping up, when I'm stepping to the pool, I like that story. Yeah. When I step to the pool, man, I know I got to be stepping to the pool for a reason. I'm stepping into the pool, not to just sit by it and watch everybody else get what they came to get, but I'm coming to get what I want, what I need to get that salvation. What's the last one, and then we'll end it here.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 9.
First Peter chapter 1 and verse 9. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
Right, and that's what the faith is about. It's about, how do I get my soul saved?
Yes, sir.
How do I get out of the deplorable conditions? Well, I first got to believe that I can. Think about all the people all the you call them hoop dreamers, right? Pipe dreamers.
Pipe dreams.
Cats that believe they could get up out the hood, and they did it. All them basketball players and all them lawyers and doctors that were in the hood, in the projects, watching people get killed. They had to believe they could get out. They had to believe that there was something better for them, that the Most High had something better. And they didn't have the faith in the Most High, that, wow, the Most High is going to get me out of here. But they had a belief. They had a faith. And they didn't have to go sell drugs, didn't have to pimp themselves, didn't have to be pimped. They had a faith. They had a vision. They had a goal. So really, to break down faith, vision. Whether it's your vision in the will of the Most High or the vision that's given to you, understanding where the vision comes from, following the vision, and being consistent in the vision to salvation. Any questions? All right, well, we went a little bit over. I like to stick to the time, but it bees like that. But no, we thank y'all for joining us.
Keep fighting. Grow in faith.
Michael Jackson said it best, keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Yeah, I mean, you got to see it. The world knows that faith is real.
That's right.
They just put their faith in the wrong things. We got the Most High to put our faith into because He's the only thing that can save us.
True.
Most High in Christ. So keep the faith, keep fighting, keep putting in the work to get better, be better individuals so we can be better as a collective. And the Most High is going to bless it, man. All we got to do is look around. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing online? I don't think there is. No? Well, another good class. Another good class. I'm a Wednesday. It's me? Or is it you?
It's you.
Nah, it ain't gonna be me.
Really?
It's you, him Wednesday. What is it? What you doing? We got another class on Wednesday. They got another one coming tomorrow
It's you.
out of VA.
You the last.
Right? Oh, they leaving me for last?
God.
You the last fruit.
Stop. I got two, right? I got temperance and I got meekness. So I'll go last. I mean, I'm not tripping. We're gonna do all 9. So how many have we done so far? About 5, 6? Temperance. Oh, there's temperance, there's meekness, and there's joy, right?
3 or 4.
Something like that. I forgot which ones we haven't. I know we haven't done those 2, and then there's one more. So they'll probably do that Wednesday, tomorrow. Then I'll come with mine Wednesday. Yes, sir. So we thank y'all for joining us. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, sir. Which ones have we done?
The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Tell me where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece.